Mr. Steinman, of course, there's a lot of elements that have to go into place before we can actually consume water as humans, or probably even animals as well. So the question here is, all these elements or all these aspects that goes into place for us to be able to consume water, how is this financed?
Elsewhere, I don't know. The municipality doesn't know.
No.
Namwater doesn't know, because the people who get the potable water, the fresh, nice, clean water from Namwater, they don't want to pay. So you read in the newspapers,
I have.
Namwater sit with this $2 billion deficit, because local authorities, municipalities are not paying their bills, which is an irony, because it's very quickly a big, loud political thing if there is not sufficient potable water for a settlement or a village or whatever. And then the politicians who love making noise, they carry on, no, why is there no water, and what are the state-owned enterprises doing? And then you confronted with the reality. They want the water for political expedience, but they don't want to pay for the privilege of having good, clean water. Don't have to go drink brown river water, that sort of thing. But you asked me, how does one finance it? And this is a bit of a conundrum, because you will remember what I explained in the previous talk. The containment part has got a certain cost to it. It's a huge cost, but it's a cost that doesn't escalate. Nekatal was more than 5 billion Namibia dollar, but now it's there.
Yeah.
We don't need to go build a second Nekatal. We can now start looking at methods of financing for the irrigation part downstream, which is also, it's going to be considerable, but the planning is there. So first part is getting the raw water together in a reservoir where you can keep it. Second part, as I explained, is making that water clean, making it possible to use it in your house, for you, yourself, animals, your garden. That must also be financed. So like Gamams at Goreangap, it's very expensive. So a local authority, a municipality, usually must make provision in its budget for purification works. If they are a secondary utilizer of the water. Tertiary utilizers are you and me in our house. The city is the in-between, the go-between. They're the secondary utilizer, and Namwater is the primary utilizer. So Namwater is the bulk water provider. They have to clean water to a certain acceptable level, or a minimum level of contamination, or the absence of contamination, and that carries a cost. But if Namwater supplies a village directly with water, let's say the cost is about $6 per cubic meters, and cubic meter is 1,000 liters. So you can go and make that calculation. If it's about $6 for 1,000 liters, it is just 600 cents divided by 1,000. You realize that 1 liter of water on the bulk tariff is less than 10 cents. So it's cheap. Cheap, If you supply it to the secondary utilizer, which is the local authority, which is the municipality, in our case City of Windhoek or City of Swakopmund or Walvis Bay or wherever, you're now starting to talk about bulk infrastructure. So all the reservoirs that you see on the mountains around Windhoek, they're expensive. Imagine building that big dam with a domed roof, concrete roof over it, at ground level. It's already a fairly complicated project, because it has to be able to withstand the pressure, the weight of the water. Now you would have noticed, anybody that drives around Windhoek, they will notice all the reservoirs are on the mountain.
Yes.
So now you can see, if I have to go build a dam up there on the mountain, the cost escalate.
It does.
You know, there's nothing you can do about it if you want to have that there. So the financing in part is from NamWater, but the problem with the financing is at the local authority level. And there it can be a combination of factors. But what is an important thing that we need to remember is that you must be prepared to pay a reasonable price for the privilege of getting clean water provided to your house, in your tap. You don't need to send somebody with a bucket on the head to go scoop some water.
Not anymore.
And that privilege, there's a cost to it. And you must be prepared to pay your part of the cost.
Well, that, I don't know if I should say that's an unfortunate, or we are fortunate to have water, even though we have to pay it. But unfortunately, we have come to the end of this talk. We will probably talk about it one day, or continue this talk next time. But for now, we have to say goodbye. Thank you so much for keeping it locked to the power station. Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel Steinman. Today, I've heard of dams that I didn't know exist, but I will, of course, go do my research. And I hope that the listeners will too go do their research. Until we meet again next time.